For 16 years, Heartland Theater Company has had a 10-minute play competition. This extends to the world. It's for anybody as long as it's in English, and there are other parameters. We usually get around 300 to 350 plays submitted and pick the top 8 to perform. This year, our 2017 play festival was themed around the graduation party. This year broke a record. We had 6 winning playwrights travel from across the United States to see their plays realized on their own dime and attend a reception afterwards with our audience. These playwrights come from New York, New Jersey, Massachusetts, Texas, Indiana, all over the place. And the excitement for us is to see what they think of this, not only how their play becomes realized on stage in front of their eyes, but what do they think of this theater? What do they think of the way we do things? What do they think of this community? And it's so much fun at the reception to hear what they have to say. They stand up and say that they're at other competitions and they're not done this well, this artistically, acted this well, directed this well. We pay so much attention to their plays to do it right. And we have a national, international reputation to do that. We've had playwrights win from Australia, the UK. We've even had somebody submit from Siberia. Every year for 16 years, Heartland Theater Company has a 10-minute play competition. It's international. The only criteria is that it has to be in English, along with a couple of parameters about how many characters can be on stage. We usually get 300 to 350 play submissions that are read by a committee, and the top 8 are chosen to be performed on our stage. There's no prize money for the playwrights, but we do fully stage their plays with a nice budget. These plays are the first time that these playwrights will see their play on stage. The plays need to have never been produced or staged before. They're original. So it's so much fun for our audience that comes to all the plays here to find out what these playwrights who come from all over the country think of our theater. What do they think of the play that they saw staged? What do they think about how we run this theater? And what do they think of our audience and our community? We have a reception that takes place after the opening session of our 10-minute plays. The playwrights are invited. This year, 6 came, 6 from across the country on their own dime to see their plays realized and talk about how they feel about our theater and the way that we treated their plays. No wrinkles?
Oh, none at all. I'm ready when you are.
Okay. This theater is 31 years old. It was started in 1986 by a few artists who were passionate about this type of theater. They had some trouble the first 6 years just struggling with what they could do as an artist and what the community would accept. That's where my husband and I entered, and we knew immediately what this theater needed. So we could help it. We wanted to see it thrive, not just survive. My husband had experience. I'm going to start over. My husband had experience in running theaters where there's quite a bit of red tape. It took a long time to make a change or make an improvement. I had experience with clients where in marketing I could tell them the right thing to do, but I could tell them the right thing to do, but they wouldn't necessarily go along with that. When we looked at this theater and knew what to do, it was marketing in bed with operations, and that's a good thing because we were nimble. We could move quickly. We knew the right thing to do marketing-wise. We knew the right thing to do operations-wise, And what we did for this theater was simply consistent quality. We could make the big promise and we could deliver on it. And that's what made the difference. Hi, I'm Gail Dobbins. I'm Managing Director of Heartland Theater Company. We're in Normal on the old Soldiers and Sailors campus in the Community Activity Center. This theater was gutted about 7 years ago with money raised from our patrons to give it more seats without destroying the intimacy that they so loved. Just at Heartland Theater, not the location. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm Gail Dobbins. I'm Managing Director of Heartland Theater Company. Oh, I'll say it again.
In McLean County, or in Bloomington Normal, or in Normal.
Okay. I'm Gail Dobbins. I'm Managing Director of Heartland Theater Company here in Normal, Illinois.
Great. I love it. Do it again.
I'm Gail Dobbins. I'm Managing Director of Heartland Theater Company here in Normal, Illinois.
That's perfect.
We're having our first all-day retreat with the board. It's been so long and I'm so frustrated with them not having the history, or I just get so frustrated not knowing what policy is or why something's happening and how to stretch that I'm, the first half of the day is taking them through the history visually. So it's been on my mind.
That's important.
Oh, okay. Heartland is followed by a discerning audience. By that I mean we have educators, retired teachers, smart people who go to the theater outside of Heartland, but they're going to New York, they're going to Chicago, Houston, a lot. So they're bringing us plays that they've seen that might be just right for us. I call that engaging your audience in what you do. They feel a part of it. When I first started here about 25, 30 years ago, I was handed a list of patrons that was 100 people in an Excel spreadsheet. It's now nearly 2,000 people, and these people are being marketed to or talked to at least 3 times a month. Now, one thing that really helped that was the technology. That kind of moved with us. You didn't have to develop film anymore. You could reach out to people with email, social media, and continue those relationships. I find that Heartland's biggest asset is its database. The database that tracks when did people first come here, when did they first buy a season ticket, then how many years did it take for them to make their first donation? How did those donations grow over time? This is really important. I think that if this theater burned down and we could save the database, we would have the most valuable part of it. The same is true of our artists. We have playwrights, directors, actors, stage managers, lighting designers, sound designers, costume designers. These are people that we need to engage, that we keep track of in that database. They know what's going on at Heartland. They know what the season's going to be. They know who we're looking for, and we're engaging them as early as we can. Our relationships in the community with our universities are key also. This is considered a small Midwestern town, but it's lucky to have 2 universities and some community colleges right nearby. We will cast acting and directing instructors from Illinois Wesleyan and Illinois State University and get their equity acting fee waived by Actors Equity. This is a win-win for everybody. The students can come, and we want students and young people here to see their instructor on stage in a major role. Actors Equity gives them credit for doing the performance which they need in order to keep their Actors Equity card. Heartland gets top-notch talent on our stage without paying an enormous fee that professional theaters have to pay. Heartland defies conventional wisdom. We stage plays here with the quality and intensity that would be, we stage plays here with the quality and intensity of a first-rate theater. We constantly have people who have seen maybe the same play in a different location or a different theater, and it's that good. And it is sometimes better here, and I chalk that up to the intimacy of this space. We are a black box theater with a thrust stage. So there are audience on 3 sides. We stage to our commitment of age-appropriate actors. You will never see a role that should be played by an 80-year-old person on our stage played by somebody younger. We just believe in that, and it's because the audience is in your face. They are right up there, close and personal. We can't even put makeup on people on the stage. It just isn't right. So this is as real as you can get, almost, well, more real than film, but like film. It's that close and that intimate. Heartland is a black box theater. We are in your face. It's that close. Only 93 seats with a thrust stage, and the audience is right there. We stick to age-appropriate acting in this theater. So no makeup is worn. If it's an 80-year-old role, you're going to see an 80-year-old playing that role. Heartland is a black box theater. Only 93 seats with a thrust stage. That means audience on 3 sides in a small, intimate atmosphere. We are in your face when we're on this stage, and you can see us sweat and spit, and it's real, more real than film. Heartland Theater is known as a black box theater. It only seats 93 people. It's not in the round, but it's a thrust stage with audience on 3 sides. The stage is close to the audience. So we're known as being in your face when it comes to getting as real as possible in our plays. Heartland is known as a cultural gem in this community, but I think it's a lot more than that. The plays we choose are based on the issue of being human and all that brings to life. People watching our plays, because of the types of plays we do, might identify with the content of that play, a dysfunctional family, the loss of a child, a divorce, things like that happen to us. I think Heartland hits you where you live when we do these types of plays. It's smart. It's psychological in a way that people coming here will find some identification, some comfort in some situations, and somebody to talk to them about it after the play. Our plays are provocative, but they instill conversation and working through the issue that they see on stage. And that's a good thing for our community. Getting younger people, students through, I'd say, age 35, into the arts in a big way is a global issue. We all know it. We're all trying to work together to deal with this issue. Helping to know why it happened is some comfort, but it doesn't solve the problem. The way Heartland looks at trying to get younger people in is with our venue. We can choose some plays where younger people might be interested in that human issue. We can get their instructors on stage so that these students want to come and see that it's a showcase. We can help with the ticket price for younger people because they're not only paying for the theater, but they're paying for babysitters as well. There's a lot of things that we can do, even including picking shows that require younger actors in them so that their friends come and the word of mouth gets out there that this is the thing to do. But it's difficult when you get students involved. They may not stay in the community, but you gotta try. If young people haven't been involved in the theater as a child, where parents or grandparents took them there, or to an art gallery or a museum or the symphony, they're not going to have that good habit that we all have where we know we need to nurture our soul with the arts. One way that Heartland Theater entices younger people is through the universities, where students can design costumes here. They can see their instructor on stage. They can be cast in a play where other students come to watch. Even though they may leave the community after they graduate, they will take that love of the arts and the theater and know in their hearts what that involvement did for their well-being and for the well-being of others. We like to involve students in this theater in many ways, on many levels: costume designers, lighting designers, onstage acting, coming to the theater to see their teacher perform in a major role. Even though they may leave the community when they graduate, they're equipped then to take it throughout the world what this experience did for them, and that's a good thing. We love having students and young people attend our theater. We know that even if life takes them away from this community, that they'll have the tools and that experience that they had with the arts and take it wherever they go. You said it better than I did, but I said it shorter than you did.
Let's get your tag again.
Oh, I wanted to say one other.
Okay.
I've got another good.
Good.
Heartland Theater is a love story. It has been built on the backs of people with so much passion that even struggling in the early years, it succeeded and it will continue to succeed. This is a family, and once you join it, whether you have any friends or you have any connection to the community, you do now when you come here.
I'm Gail Dobbins.
I'm Gail Dobbins, I'm Gail Dobbins, Marketing Director. No, I am Gail Dobbins, Managing Director of Heartland Theater Company.
Good. Give me that again.
I'm Gail Dobbins, Managing Director of Heartland Theater Company in Normal, Illinois. My education is in fine arts. Then I moved to marketing and database marketing, brand development, and applying those skills to the theater in costume design, scenic designing, props design. It's a lovely multi-level environment for any artist that has a talent. My life is this theater. It's my legacy. I cannot separate it from my friends. My friends are here. It's done an enormous amount for me, even as I have done an enormous amount for it. This theater is my passion. I've done a lot for this theater over 30 years, but it's done far more for me.